Hi, I'm Brock Woodhouse with WNN, the Wildcat News Network, here with this week's edition of the Woodhouse Report. Winter sports season is in full swing for Marcellus. Competition week started this previous week for basketball and wrestling. With home games, road games, and home meets, wrestling and basketball seasons are in full swing. Girls basketball played their first game against Michigan Lutheran Titans on Monday the 8th. A close battle that ultimately ended in a loss for the Lady Cats. Final score 28-25. The girls played again on Thursday the 11th, scores which are unavailable at the time of filming this edition. All scores for games can be found online at marcellusathletics.com or on the Marcellus Wildcat Athletics Facebook page. The Lady Cats basketball team plays this upcoming Tuesday, December 16th, against the Centerville Bulldogs, starting at 6 p.m. Boys varsity basketball played 3 games in last week. First on Friday the 5th against Hartford, ultimately ending the game with a final score of 59-38. The boys played again against the Cassopolis Rangers on Tuesday the 9th, putting up a hard fight, but again falling short, losing the game 61-30. Finally, they played this week the 11th, where scores are again unavailable during filming. They can be found online. Both JV and varsity boys basketball teams travel to Centerville this upcoming week on the 16th to take on the Bulldogs. Games start with JV at 6 and varsity following. Wrestling also started their competitions this week, with boys and girls teams facing the Covert Bulldogs in their home season opener, walking away with a win. The girls wrestling team traveled to Bangor on Friday the 5th, where wrestlers Memory Sylvester and Michaela McWilliams secured podium finishes. Michaela McWilliams secured a first-place finish, naming her as last week's MHF Athlete of the Week. Boys wrestling traveled last week to Galesburg Augusta High School for their individual tournament. The boys wrestled well, and I, Brock Woodhouse, finished with 3rd in my weight class. This week, the Brandywine Quad was canceled, meaning that teams are wrestling next in Eau Claire this weekend. Girls wrestling travels there tonight, December 12th, and boys wrestling goes tomorrow, the 13th. Next week, both teams travel Wednesday to Decatur High School for the Cats' first Southwest 10 matchup against the Decatur Raiders and the Lawrence Tigers. This week, the band plays their first concert performance of the year, being the 2025 Holiday Concert. On Monday, December 15th, starting at 7 p.m. in the Varsity Gym, the 6th grade band will play their first ever performance, followed by the middle school band. After that, the high school concert band will play, and the night will conclude with a jazz ensemble. Ugly sweaters are encouraged for all in attendance. Finally, community news. Christmas in the Village took place last week. Vendors and citizens of Marcellus came together to celebrate the holiday spirit as a town with live events, special shops, and family activities for everyone in Marcellus. Coming up, there will be a town meeting taking place at Patch in Remington on December 22nd. Board members George Markle and Joe Watts will be hosting this event that is open to the public. Free tea and coffee will be offered to all in attendance, and questions are encouraged. Additionally, the Cass Family Clinic mobile clinic will be back in town on the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the month. The clinic will be present in town these days of each month into the foreseeable future. Visit cassfamilyclinic.com or call 269-445-3874 for more information or to schedule an appointment today. Finally, Joe Watts will be hosting a children's percussion clinic on December 29th at the Wood Memorial Library. All families are welcome for this day of musical fun and learning. More information can be found at the Township Library Facebook page. That's all that we have for this week. I'm Brock Woodhouse with WNN, the Wildcat News Network, and thank you for joining me on this week's edition of the Woodhouse Report. Go Cats!